Dang, it's hot out here. What's up, guys? Just got the mail, got a little something in. So you know we're gonna unbox this and get some clips for you guys. So let's check it out. All right, you guys know we don't play, we don't tease, we don't unbox, we hit the rocks. So let's check it out. All right, so real quick, this thing comes with one of these small controllers. I don't know. It's got a good feel to it, though. It feels better than most of these small controllers. I don't like how these don't have a base to them. You know, you can't sit them down anywhere. You just kind of got to lay them down. But it's good for one-hand driving, which is what we're going to do because I can't clip my normal mount on this. So we're going to do what we can. You can see this channel 3 switch switches your transmission from low to high. This thing is peppy, so let's see what it can do at low speeds. It's got a pretty good feel to it, much better than most. See how it does on the rocks, but I can already tell it's a lot better than anything else I've ran besides the FCX24. It feels like it's maybe a little better than like a V1 FCX24 ESC, but we'll see if it can compare to the V2. It's not going to go up this. I don't imagine. None of the stock trucks really go up this. Maybe a little weight in that front end it might, but it's not gonna make that. Let's try this. So this is kind of gonna be a rough video. I wanted you guys to get the first run experience of this with me. Again, I'm driving one-handed and I'm not good at that, so I apologize for my shoddy driving. Reverse is a little jumpy sometimes. But I think you can see it's got a pretty good slow crawl to it. Like, I'm pretty satisfied with that for a stock ESC. And we'll pull this thing apart and take a look at it later. Like I said, I just wanted you guys to kind of get this first experience with me, see how it goes. These tires have no foams in them, but they're not half bad on this concrete. They are like a 1.3 size, so a really odd size. You can tell it don't have the worm gears because it don't hold itself sometimes, which with a little better ESC, that'll probably be nice because you'll have better control. It's not bad as is. As far as the tires go, they're like a 1.3. They're really odd. Whoop, that was me. But the good thing is the hex is the same as the FCX24, so we can put some 1.0s. Uh-oh. Are we overheating or what's? Maybe the battery died. I didn't charge this very long, so let's see what's going on. It's just doing its own thing. Okay. So it has auto crawl mode where you can just let it go and watch it. Apparently. All right, so apparently it is way too hot outside. That's why we have the air conditioner in the garage. I'm gonna try to run this thing indoors a little bit. My camera was overheating, shutting off. This thing went crazy. All of the stuff inside, they have like this black goo holding the wires and the on-off switch. It was all like coming completely undone. It was like melting and stuff dangling. And so yeah, we just came inside. I'm glad to know that in 2022, this old man is still tougher than our electronics. Because I didn't give out. I was getting close, so I'm glad everything else gave first, but I survived. This has a really good slow crawl. I can't say that enough. Like right there, you can see how touchy that reverse is. Sometimes it don't want to go into reverse, and then when it does, it just jumps. That's pretty aggravating. I'm not really trying to dodge these markers because I am not good with one-hand driving. And that would probably make a huge difference on the jumpiness of reverse as well. You can see I can't even hit the bridge. So this is going to be kind of a rough video, guys. Like I said, I just want you guys to see my first run with it and how it's going. I can't drive. This thing barely fits on here, so it's kind of tough. I don't see how you guys drive one-handed. It's not for me. I never have, did it, and that's why I changed all of my transmitters. So I'm sure this thing will be getting switched over to a Fury Tech or something. So this has like a 130 motor in it. We will really have to play around to see what kind of upgrades we can do, but FMS told me that they have upgrades planned and in the works. Some are already going to be available. I'll believe it when I see it. I think they may be sending one of these for me to test out and do some videos on. If I get another one, we're going to be doing a giveaway, guys. So definitely stay tuned for that. Let's see if, I highly doubt it's going to go up this corner right here, but we're going to try it. Just a little weight in the front end in it. Come on. Oh, it was close. It was close. Let's just see if it'll go up this. Like I said, I'm not even worried about those markers. These tires are just okay. They're really probably not bad for a stock tire, to be honest. You can tell this needs a little weight in the front end. It's a little short. Like I'd really like to extend the rear some, maybe. This comes with like a cage, I believe, and a spare tire. I'm not probably going to put either one of those on there, to be honest. The cage looks a little funky in my opinion. See, we made that, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to back up here because reverse is very jumpy. That is my one takeaway that I do not like. Reverse is jumpy, and we need weight in the front. So let's see if we can launch up this, all right? Ooh, that was nice. It does not hold itself at all in high. You can see that as soon as I let off. So you have to stay on that trigger, see that? If we switch back, it holds a little better, see? So, but that's to be expected. Overall, that is awesome to have that other gear though. Like that's something we haven't had on the 24s, and that's very steep. I'm not gonna make that. I removed some pieces here that are going on the new course. Okay, so this hill right here is pretty tough. It doesn't have much traction. Really, none of my trucks are going up this very well. This one went up it pretty good with the Power Hobby Trail Warrior tires. I just put these on here because I'm swapping some tires around. I don't see this making it up this. And if it falls off of here, it's a pretty good fall. But watch this. I bet we can launch it. 2-speed transmission. Unbelievable. So that just launched up that, like my Olympus bouncer up here. This thing, you guys seen how much speed it had. And it will launch up that exactly like this did. But this 2-speed transmission is gonna unlock so many possibilities. Like that is amazing. We have CVDs up in here, so we'll be curious to see how those hold up. The diffs are pretty small. There's good clearance there, so these seem like some solid portals. I'm not gonna make that turn. Overall, man, I am loving this rig. All right, so we're gonna try coming down this hill. I think I'm gonna need some weight in the rear of this. It just needs some weight down low, but it has a pretty good slow crawl. Look at that. I'm able to ease down it. Really good control for an RTR. The servo feels pretty dang good. I mean, you can tell this is the type of situation here. Bigger tires, all the weight on the front end. FCX24 servo would not move those tires right now, I am telling you. Stock servo, and look at that. This is no issues. So I feel like it's a pretty decent stock servo in there, and it's probably the same one for the transmission. We'll have to check that out, but I haven't had the transmission not want to shift at all, and we just made it down that super steep hill with this thing stock. All right, so we're gonna try to go up this. I don't think it's gonna make it easily. This is not finished yet either, so this is pretty tough. I plan to build this up a little here. This is gonna have like some sort of rock base in the bottom because it's too close to the edge to have this be super hard. Like, I don't want trucks falling off there all the time. Thinking about maybe putting some netting here at the edge, just in case that does happen, and then maybe we could leave it tough like that. But the fact that this went up that is pretty nice. The reverse, you really just kind of have to bump it. Like, once you get used to it, it's not horrible. So this reverse feels much better while I'm driving with both hands. Let's see if we can get through this mud. You really have to be careful because these BBs sometimes want to get locked up in your wheels, and I'm afraid it's going to hang in our portals. Yeah, so we're not going to push that. The BBs are binding up in here, and we're just going to break something. So let's go around the mud pit for now. See how it does with a little side hill here. I'm really surprised at how well this thing drives out of the box, honestly. I was kind of ready to be hard on this thing, and it's doing really well. So I was able to get back outside with this thing for a few clips. I never did have another issue with it getting hot, shutting off, going into autopilot, or whatever you want to call that it did earlier. I don't know if that was just a fluke with the battery going dead, because I only charged it like 5, maybe 10 minutes at most while I was getting the transmitter together and camera set up and that sort of thing. So it needed a full charge, and it is very, very hot out. So I understand if there are some issues. I never had another single issue, so I think that was just kind of a fluke, maybe the battery, whatever. But overall, this thing, I'm having so much fun with this thing. The 2-speed transmission is just something like you don't think you really need until you have it. And now I don't want to drive anything without it, because it's so fun to have speed to kind of trail along. Like, this is going to be the ultimate 24 for the trail trekker. You know, the people that want to go on a hike and take their trucks, you can now take one of these 24s, because this thing can move, but it can still slow crawl, and straight out of the box, it's unbelievable. I told myself I wasn't going to get all freaked out over this, but I'm really excited about it. It's really good out of the box, and if the aftermarket will jump on board with this, Axial is going to have to revamp the SCX24. In my opinion, they're going to have to go to the drawing board, and they're going to have to bring us something new. And that's what we want. I mean, nothing else. If nothing else comes out of this truck, at least maybe it will push Axial to do something new for us as well. You know, they can't just slap another body on the SCX24 and put it out there for us at this point. I think this is going to change that. So I think we will be seeing an FCX24 version 2 because of this truck. That's just my honest opinion. And I'm kind of going where I said I wasn't going to go with this, because I am speaking very highly of this truck very quickly. So, you know, I may eat my words a month or two down the road. It may fall apart. It may be nothing, but it's a little different. You know, the Panda 24, I keep referring to that. I was super excited about that thing, and then I ran it, and I was not excited anymore. It just was not good. This thing, I'm actually more excited after running the first time than I was to get it in the first place. You know, this thing kind of popped out of nowhere, like nobody really knew it was coming, and boom, it's here and it's sick. So I think this thing is exactly what we need. It's just pushing the game. It's one more 24 out there that is actually good, and hopefully things can be done with, and it's just an improvement. That's all I can say. It's a step in the right direction. So I look forward to see what's to come of this thing. Okay, so a couple things I wanted to talk about real quick. I was able to stretch a 1.0 tire onto this wheel, and it don't look half bad. I didn't cut the foam or anything, so it's kind of like crammed in there. It's not a real good fit. I didn't even get the wheel on right. There's a little tab. You can see it's poking through there. I didn't realize that when I was putting it together, but it's supposed to line up with this hole. So we'll take that apart, and I'm not sure I'm even going to do that, but I just wanted to see if it was possible. You can stretch the 1.0 on it. Not sure it's going to work great, but maybe trim the foam and it would work. The problem here, for the most part, that will be fitting, other wheels on here is, you can see how that axle's made. It gets really big right here, which it's a larger axle wheel nut anyways than the FCX24, like the other Atlases or the FMS, the 6x6 and that sort of thing. The problem with, I was going to change the hex even to widen it a little bit, but this right here is really big and beefy, and so like our FCX24 hex won't really fit straight on there. You may have to like drill it out a little or something, because it has to fit over that, not just threads. So it'll take a little work, but it can be done. And then that's just if you want to change the hex. I was going to put like some heavier hex on there, like the weighted wideners, but we can always figure something else out there. I'm going to get this back on here so it's not falling off on me. All right, so I saved this for you guys. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right, so the wipers move. That's pretty cool. Just an added touch. Detail's pretty decent on this body. It's really pretty light for a hard body, so it works well. The bumper, this is pretty lame. To me, this is goofy. I wish they had did something a little better there with the bumper, but maybe we can just take that off completely. That'd be my favorite thing to do with that. But lots of options for lights here. You have different on-offs here for all of these lights, I assume. The headlights are on the channel 4 switch here. So you tap it, they come on. You tap it, they get brighter. You tap it, they go off. I'm really surprised with how well they fit everything up front on this thing. This is the servo that shifts your transmission. It's up front. It's tucked away nice in there. It's not super high or anything. I think it's the same servo as the steering servo. It looks like it. They don't really have any like model number on them or anything, but they seem to work really good, so no complaints there. These links are kind of funky, but they're up out of the way a decent amount. I don't know, this thing just performs really well the way it is, honestly, and it's only going to get better. Part of the reason for that is, if you look at it, it's huge, okay? So maybe it's not 100% fair, and I hate how you gotta line this body up. It's kind of a pain, but at least it holds once it's on there. But if you look at this thing compared to the FCX24, it's like 18th scale. I mean, it's huge. It really is more like an 18th scale. It's almost the same exact size as my Atlas 6x6. It's basically the same body, just a hard body version. You can see it swallows the Bronco. So out of the box, it's a lot better of a performer than the Bronco. That's probably partially to do with it's huge. Look at the width of that. So that's a big deal, you know, for your side hill and everything. It makes a big difference. The length is not a lot different, but with the bigger tires, it is a decent amount longer. But the actual wheel base is pretty similar. But, you know, I like this thing. I like where it is out of the box, and it can only get better. So you guys let me know what you think about this thing. It's definitely at least second best at this point, in my opinion. It's the best thing we've had come putting pressure on axial to date. And this 2-speed transmission just makes it awesome. Really, it's so much fun to drive. It's kind of like, it's one of my favorites right now. And you know, I got a lot of FCX24s around here. Just built a brand new one right here. I'm going to be showing you guys soon. So keep an eye out for that. But y'all let me know what you think about this one. The motor in this is so much better than stock motor in the FCX24. I never had it stall out, never felt like it didn't have enough power. It definitely has the speed with that transmission. Servos are good. ESC is pretty dang good. So, man, straight out of the box, like, it really puts the pressure on the FCX24s. If the aftermarket jumps on board with this, it could be a very solid competitor or take the lead. We will see. Kind of depends on aftermarket and durability, in my opinion. So y'all let me know what you think. I appreciate everybody watching. Let me know if you need anything. I'm going to link these in the description. You can get them on Amazon, get them in like 2 days. So if you purchase through the link, it helps out the channel. And we'll see what we can do with this thing. More to come. I appreciate everybody watching. Peace.